All right, all right. Peace to the family. Welcome to Nick's Knowledge and Notions NQ Science Series, brought to you by DJ the Money Coach, Seven Spheres of Money, the Ransburg International, and all of that good stuff. My name is Nick Westbrooks. This is my show. I'm the host. It's called the NQ Science Series, but we're not talking about lab biology, uh, experimental physical science, lab chemistry, earth science, or even physics for that matter. We're talking about the science of all things that go through my mind and how they're manifested in the physical, real, material world. So if you're noticing, I'm here solo. I don't have DJ joining me tonight. DJ has the night off, or the weekend for that matter. He's on another one of his working vacations. I can't even keep count of how many working vacations he took. And I'm only, attempting to keep track between, May and now. This is not even counting the first half of 2020. But, shout out to DJ, out there putting in the work. This week he had several consultations and client meetings that went successfully. So we're putting in that work. We're helping a lot of folks with their finances and helping them to achieve that pom pom lifestyle. And you already know what that is: plenty of money, peace of mind. So I put together a little outline here so I can keep track of what I'm going to talk about tonight. Since I'm solo, uh, I'm not going to be long, but I'm going to be strong and thoughtful. And of course, I don't talk a lot anyway. I'm besides the fact that I'm introverted, I'm also a man of few words. I'm more of a quality over quantity type of person when it comes to speaking, and I'm not into small talk either. I like to say what I got to say and keep it moving. So this slide looks a little blurry on my end. I'm not sure how it looks out there on YouTube world, but I already spoke about DJ's absence. So now I'll go into a recap of this week, starting with a story. That's another one of our DJ the Money Coach shows that airs every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here in the same place, the Seven Spheres of Money YouTube channel and the Facebook channel as well. So Story and I, we had an excellent build, dealing with Tuesday's presidential election, which I'll get into a little bit tonight once I get into my topics. So Tuesday's presidential debate between Donald J. Trump and Joseph R. Biden. So we talked about that a little bit, our immediate reactions and our thoughts on voting and party affiliation, things of that nature. We also, Astoria is also has a great interest in astrology. So we talked about what's going on currently cosmically. And if you recall one of our earlier shows, I named it Astoria Story, Cosmetology and Cosmology, because Astoria is an expert and master cosmetologist, barber, hairstylist with a great interest in astrology. So that's where you get the cosmetology and cosmology. But not only just astrology, but just spirituality in general. So I suggest you go back and watch those previous shows and get those gems and get that nice masculine and feminine energy balancing out. You know, that's always a pleasant surprise, a nice change of pace when you have the masculine and feminine energy balancing each other out. Astoria also has a show on Mondays that she broadcast live from her personal Instagram account called Money Mondays. So she's been bringing on guests every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, discussing all topics related to finances, personal finances. So, dealing with savings, investing in the stock market, the hair care industry, making sure her fellow barbers and hairstylists are doing business the right way, uh, from behind the chair, not just with their skills, but with their finances and running their business. But she can also teach you some things about the skills too. She's always learning, uh, new tricks of the trade to master her craft as a barber and hairstylist. And she also teaches a course on helping folks manage their natural hair. So you want to check out Astoria's story. Once you click on one of those episodes on this YouTube channel, her information will be in the description of that video. So that was the only show we had. Only other show besides this one that we had last week. I mean, this week. Last week we had Rodney present on Erica Williams' YouTube channel about his SAT Score Boost course. So if you have, seniors in high school or just kids in general, they don't have to necessarily be seniors, but kids that are going through the college application process or planning to go through the college application process, you want to make sure you check out that interview. That interview aired maybe about a week ago, a little over a week ago. And that's not on the Seven Spheres of Money channel. That's on Erica Williams' channel. So just go into YouTube, type in Erica Williams, and you'll see a video dealing with the SAT. That's an interview that Erica did with young Rodney, who's only 16 years old, attending the University of Texas in Austin, UT's engineering school at 16 years old. And I believe he scored a 1400 on the SAT. I wish I scored a 1400 in the SAT. I think I barely broke 1,000 on the SAT, and that might have been with all three parts. So I wish I had this back in high school, but I also wish I took the SAT a lot more seriously too, because I didn't. I mean, I knew that the SAT was serious, but I didn't put much time into preparing for the test. I just kind of wung it. I didn't look at any study guides, attend any classes. I just, kind of showed up and just took the test. And I did that twice. And I mean, that didn't really hurt me as far as getting accepted into college, but it hurt my chances of getting scholarships, for college. I had a great GPA. I had, great recommendations, personal statements, extracurricular activities, but my SAT score was low. So as a result, I didn't get the scholarship from Howard University. That was my undergraduate school. So I didn't get that scholarship from Howard University. And they didn't end up giving me a scholarship until I was halfway through my career there. So I guess they wanted to see that I was going to perform first before they gave me the money, besides the fact that I didn't have the SAT scores to get that merit scholarship coming in the door as a freshman. I put, and the ironic thing about it is that I put a lot of emphasis into sports during my high school career, because I thought I was going to play sports in high school, and I mean in college, and then I get to the college level, and then sports just went out the window, and I just focused on academics and my careers, locking in those internships and getting that real world hands-on experiences, building up my resume and things of that nature. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I say all that to say, check out that SAT Score Boost interview on Erica Williams' YouTube channel. Shout out to Rodney for the excellent work that he's doing at such a young age, and he's also business minded too. So which truly exemplifies what we're all about here at the Seven Spheres of Money, DJ the Money Coach. And shout out to Erica Williams, of course, for all the work that she does on her platform with teaching financial education and bringing on guests of all shapes and forms and expertise to talk about money, talk about investing, finance, real estate, trucking, and just information that will benefit our people. So shout out to Erica Williams and the Classy Klein platform. All right. Next Friday, well, of course, next Wednesday, we'll be back with a story, and we'll be talking about your holistic health is wealth. So we always say that health is wealth, but we also tend to forget that health is holistic too, meaning that it's not just your physical health, but your physical health, mental health, spiritual health, all of that is intertwined. And your health is your greatest wealth. So when you have those intertwined areas of health, that is your wealth right there. That is your greatest wealth. So we'll be talking about that this coming Wednesday. So you can look out for that. Next Friday's Nick's Knowledge and Notions show, a week from tonight. I may or may not be going live. Well, no, I definitely won't be going live. I may or may not have a show on Friday because I'll be taking a little vacation myself that weekend. So there'll either be no show or I'll do a pre-recorded show. It's all based on how the week goes because the last few weeks been hectic. Being back at school, being back to work. I've been up to my eyeballs in work. I'm still behind on a lot of work, so we'll see how the week goes. If there will be a pre-recorded show for Nick's Knowledge and Notions next Friday. So normally, we would have our book of the month discussion tonight, since tonight is the first Friday of the month. It's October 2nd. Yes, we are in October now. The year is flying. Just a second ago, it was March. You blinked your eyes, and now it's October. Yeah, I know. I get it. So, yeah, normally we would have that book discussion tonight, but because, a few factors. One, of course, DJ is absent on his, handling his business on his working vacation and enjoying himself a little bit too. And then the other reason is I ain't finished the book. This is a thick book here. I think it's almost about 400 pages. And I think I just broke 100 pages this week. So I'll probably have like two or 300 more pages to read. So yeah, I'm gonna need a couple more weeks to catch up. I mean, that's not the reason why I might not have a show next week. That's because I'm just, I'm not going to be here in front of my computer. But yeah, I'm gonna need some more time to finish this book. But the book is pretty good so far. I know I haven't finished it yet, but I definitely encourage you all to get this book. Even if you don't join in the discussion, get the book. It's all about networking, the proper way to network, the benefits of networking, clearing up the misconceptions about networking. That's what I've gotten so far from it. And I know there's a lot more gems to come. And I also read a little bit about, how to network in this digital age a little bit too, which is especially relevant, not only because of the digital age or the digital time that we're living in, the digital era that we're living in, but also because of COVID-19 and how, we were kind of forced to rely more on these digital vehicles as opposed to meeting in person. So it's an important book. Let me go ahead and show it to you. There it is. It's called Never Eat Alone and Other Secrets to Success, One Relationship. And the name of that author is Keith Ferrazzi. Keith Ferrazzi. So I know DJ already read the book. He actually listened to the audio book, but he said it was so good that he needs to get the physical copy too. I just went ahead and got the physical copy since we were having a discussion on it. And when I'm having a book discussion, I like to have the physical copy so I can take my notes and do my annotations. Because I like audio books, but I'm usually doing other things while I'm listening to an audio book. I'm not actually listening to an audio book with my notepad and my pen in front of me. I might be driving, I might be doing chores around the house. So it's better for me to read the physical book when it comes to having discussions and pulling out specific passages and quotes so I can actually annotate the text. So I'll show you a little bit, so you can see, you can see some highlights in there. I even use my sticky notes too. See if you can see that. Yeah, you see my sticky note there with the notes on it. That's what you call active reading. So there's a reading tip for you. I teach English language arts, so I give my students tips on reading and writing. So my first reading tip to you here on Nick's Knowledge and Notions is to practice active reading, especially when you're looking for specific information or you're reading something that's not exactly exciting to you. If you're reading something that seems kind of boring to you, I mean, that's not the case for this book. This book is actually pretty interesting, and it's well written, and it's filled with anecdotes. Storytelling is always a great way to get your point across, rather than just giving us the cut and dry linear information, in the way that many nonfiction texts are written. But if you're looking to have a fruitful discussion or gain a deeper understanding or meaning from a text or something that you're reading, practice active reading by annotating the text. So here's an example of annotations. Underlining with your pen or highlighting with your highlighter key details. So if you read something that you think is important or describes the main detail or the main idea of that particular paragraph, chapter, or section of the book, go ahead and highlight it or underline it. If you're reading a book or an article that has some really dense language in there and you're seeing some words that are unfamiliar that you don't understand, circle those words. Either use context clues, the words and the phrases around that unfamiliar word to make meaning out of that unfamiliar word, or have your dictionary there, or everything's electronic now, so you can easily just go on Google and type in the word that's unfamiliar, and it'll pop up the definition for you. So look up those unfamiliar words. Don't skip over them. That's how you build your vocabulary. So you're not only getting a better understanding of what you're reading, but you're building your vocabulary in the process. And the more words that you know, the more you're able to express yourself. See, I know a lot more words than what I show on the air, on video when I'm speaking. It's just that my ideas move faster than my ability to grasp the words. So I write and type much better than I publicly speak, because I actually have the time to slow down, think about what I'm going to say, think about the words that I have in my mental bank to accurately and precisely express what I'm saying, and I can put it down. So just a side note about that. When it comes to speaking and being on video, I'm honestly more of a behind the scenes type of guy. I did major in broadcast journalism. At first I thought I wanted to be on air in front of the camera, which I did do for a little bit. I got my first experience with that in high school because we had a studio in our high school, and I was the anchor for the morning announcements. So from that experience, I thought, yeah, you know what? I think I want to be on air. But I was just reading the teleprompter, so that was pretty easy. But when it comes to doing like live stand-ups and having to, having an idea what you're going to say, but improvising some things, I'm not too comfortable or the greatest at doing that. Just notice how I just used the word things because I wasn't able to grab the word out of my word bank to replace for things. So I could, if I were to stay in broadcast, I would be more like a producer, coming up with the show rundown, the story ideas, the questions to ask the guests, bringing the guests on. That's more my style. I even did some technical things too with shooting video and editing video and things like that. So, after some time, I figured, hey, maybe that might be more my speed than being an on-air personality, an on-air reporter or anchor. And also, if you hear the way that I speak, I also don't enunciate my words as I should. My speech has gotten a little lazy since I been out of college, for some time, and I haven't been practicing that my broadcast voice. So that's another thing too. I really have no desire to talk refined and enunciate all my words like the news people do on TV news and the radio. That actually takes a lot of energy to do that. And I also don't want to shave off my beard and my mustache and my chin strap here. You rarely see anchors and reporters with facial hair. Sometimes you do, maybe in the smaller markets, but in those bigger markets, you don't see facial hair on men. And the men also wear a little bit of makeup too, a little bit of foundation when they go on air too. So those are just some of the things that had me like, I don't know if I want to be on there and do this as a career. Aside from all the politics and the nonsense and commercialization of of the news media, that's another topic. We actually talked about that a few times in previous episodes of Nick's Knowledge and Notions. So I went into a whole other story based on the book of the month discussion. But let's bring it all the way back full circle. One of my professors said, to be African is to jump around, and that's how Black people tend to talk sometimes. We tend to jump around just to come back full circle to the point. But the point is, the book discussion isn't going to be tonight. It isn't going to be next Friday either. It will be October 16th, I believe. Is that the date? Today's the 2nd. 7 days from the 2nd is the 9th. 7 days from the 9th is the 16th. Yeah, so October 16th will be the book of the month discussion on Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. If you'd like to join in on this discussion, go ahead and get this book. You got a couple more weeks to read it if you haven't gotten it yet. And, come on in and have this discussion with us. As a matter of fact, I need to be monitoring the the chat to see if anybody's talking to me out there. So let me go ahead and open up that and see if anybody's out here. Nope, it's just like looks like it's just me, me talking to myself. But shout out to the people that's watching the recording too. All right, so let's get into these topics because I'm actually going longer than I plan to go on. So let's talk about Tuesday's presidential debate. So the first thing that I want to say about Tuesday's presidential debate is more of a general disclaimer. Just speaking for myself. This is not speaking for DJ, Astoria, or any other members of the DJ the Money Coach team, but me, Nick Westbrooks, I'm nonpartisan. So I just want to put that out there first. So I'm not advocating or promoting any particular party, any particular candidate. The only thing that I'll say in terms of parties and candidates and things of that nature, Astoria and I actually talked about this on Wednesday night. It's better to vote based on the candidate that has your best interest at hand, rather than claiming affinity to a political party and just voting across that political party because that's the political party that you associate with. Look into all the candidates, look into their platforms, look into how their positions could potentially affect you if they are elected into office. So I'll just put that out there. I don't follow politics as much as I used to when I was in college. Of course, majoring in journalism and focusing on broadcast news, you have to be informed about what's going on in the world, especially politically. So I was on top of my political news back then, but now that I'm not in the journalistic field anymore, I don't pay as much attention to politics as I used to. Some people might say that's bad, but at the end of the day, my philosophy about politics is that I have to rely on myself and I have to create my own reality. Okay. Yes, the decisions of politicians affect our lives, on a day-to-day basis. However, we all have the power to create our own reality. As it relates to the 7 spheres of money and DJ being financially free and DJ's friends that are in his network being financially free and Astoria being financially free, they may be affected by who's in office. But since they have those financial principles set into place, and since they have those systems set into place, they'll be able to weather any storms and pretty much get to the bag and secure their future and their pom-pom lifestyle, plenty of money and peace of mind, regardless of who's in office. And that's the mindset that I'm aiming to have. And that's the lifestyle that I'm looking to live in, in the near future. That regardless of who's in office, I'll be able to live my life, create my own reality, and live my life on my own terms. Now, that's not to be selfish. I do have compassion for those who may be impacted on a greater scale based on who's in office. My heart goes out to those. But I can't help those who are in that position until I have myself together first. How can I help you if I'm still trying to help myself? No, you always hear that airplane example when the flight crew is going over the safety information at the beginning of the flight, and they talk about when the face mask comes down, put yours on first before you help somebody with theirs. So I have to help me. And if those that need assistance are willing to help themselves, I can meet you where you're at. And that brings us back to DJ the Money Coach. That's what we're doing here. We're helping folks when it comes to finances specifically. But sometimes, we give you a few gems here and there outside of finances. DJ drops some wisdom here and, well, not just here and there, but often, Astoria's coming through with the wisdom on Wednesday nights. And then, of course, Nick's Knowledge and Notions, we discuss an array of topics, So we're in the business of helping people. My personal mission is not just helping people, but helping people become the best version of themselves. Because that's my mission. My personal mission is to become the best version of myself. Simple, to the point. I define that on my own terms. I lay out the specifics of what that means to me. And maybe one day I'll tell you about those specifics, what it means for me to be the best version of myself. Okay. So that's the self-reliance bullet point. You see that there. Now, the last bullet point on Tuesday's presidential debate, unplugging from the media. So I just spoke a few minutes about reflecting on being in college and having to be informed about what's going on in the world. Our professors actually gave us news quizzes, and these were pop quizzes where they would ask us about stories, about news stories going on in the country and going on outside the country, especially if these are stories that Americans care about or stories that impact America. So we were obligated to be informed about what's going on, including politics. Not just for the sake of passing the college class, but also for the sake of the career. Like you can't be in a production meeting at a news station or in a newsroom and not know what's going on. You can get fired for that mess, And, but that's just talking about the journalists and the media industry. But in terms of being responsible citizens and thinking civically, yes, it's important for us to be aware of what's going on politically, because like I said, even when you're self-reliant and you're doing for self, the decisions of politicians do affect you in some way. And if you're thinking universally and not individually, and you're thinking about the concerns of the people in your community or the people in the rest of the country, you care about what decisions are being made that affect others, But with that being said, while it's important to be informed and to be a responsible citizen, it's also important, or maybe even more important, to protect your energy. Now, what do I mean by that? Think about it this way. Think about how triggered, how upset, how anxious you become when you see everything that's going on in this country and in the media, politically. A lot of people were, stressed out after watching Tuesday night's debate. They really felt really had some dismal feelings about where the country's going based on how the presidential candidates were carrying on. People are also anxious about the COVID-19. Now, on the surface, COVID-19 is a biological, scientific, conspiratorial issue, but it has been politicized. So COVID-19 is a political issue now. And yes, it's important for us to know what's going on with COVID-19, to know how the presidential candidates would respond to COVID-19. But remember, you have to protect your peace. And protecting your peace and your energy means unplugging from the news media. And not just news media, but just media in general. News media, social media, internet media, radio media, all of that. Because it's they're bombarding you with lots of programming, propaganda, and negative energy. And we have to keep our anxiety down. We have to keep our peace of mind. And that may require us to log out of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, not to turn on the news, not to go to the news website, take some time away from all of that so we can take care of our mental health. One speaker that I watched on YouTube, he even said, just limit your news consumption to 15 minutes at the beginning of the day and don't consume any more media or news after that. That's a good strategy to follow too. So in that way, you're still informed, but at the same time, you're taking your time away from it so you can unplug and decompress from all of that craziness and nonsense that's going on. So unplug from the media. Next topic. Breonna Taylor grand jury indictment. So all I'm going to say about this is we're witnessing the perpetual cycle and pattern of police killing, murdering a Black person. People reacting, protesting, and outrage. Hold on, let me go back to my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so people protesting the murder. Hire Benjamin Crump. If this is a high-profile murder, hire Benjamin Crump. Family receives a settlement, that's nowhere near what they should receive. Of course, you can't put a price tag on someone's, on a person when someone dies or passes away, but the settlement. So the victim's family is paid off. The victim's family is silenced because once they receive that settlement or that money, they can't speak out on it anymore. That's like, I'm assuming that's a part of the agreement. Once you receive the settlement money, we're going to need you to not speak out on this anymore. Don't incite anything. Don't encourage anyone to speak out against it. And then the cops get slapped on the wrist. And then the cycle starts all over again when someone else gets killed by the police. So that's the perpetual cycle and the pattern. What to do about it? I don't know. I really can't tell you. but I think it's good to recognize so we can govern ourselves and our energy accordingly, because it's exhausting, man. It's exhausting, it's draining, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating not only because we've been going through this for decades and decades and decades, and it's just been repeating and nothing is changing. It's not only frustrating because of that, but it's also frustrating because we don't know what to do about it. And some of us think we do know, but we either don't carry out those solutions, or we do carry out those solutions, but we don't get the results that we expected to get. So as far as solutions go, the only thing I can say is the solution has to be a multi-pronged approach, multifaceted approach from all levels, from the grassroots to the corporate executive suites. There's work to be done on all levels of solving this issue of police violence and the shooting of unarmed Black people. It has to be a multifaceted solution, and it has to be a consistent solution. It has to, we have to be willing to stick with it and play the long game with it, because we kind of go through these cycles. We go through a cycle, kind of forget about it, and then it starts up again, and we're reactive instead of proactive. We're acting reactive, like, oh no, this happened again, rather than constantly being on our square and working towards making sure this doesn't happen again. So consistency, multi-pronged approach. So there isn't one solution. So I say that to say there isn't just one solution. There has to be a number of solutions working simultaneously, with each other. And again, like I said, with the politics and with the news, unplug from the media too, because we are witnessing trauma in real time, and it's visual too, it's graphic. We're seeing it on video, we're seeing it on our TV screens, on our phone screens, our computer screens, these things being carried out, these acts being carried out on video. So we have to take time to unplug from all of that, to protect our energy, because it's draining. It's draining, it's exhausting, it's frustrating, watching the constant news cycle and the coverage of all these police killings. And to add insult to injury, so many of us, and I mean us as a collective Americans, collective Black people, we become desensitized to Black death, to the point where we're constantly watching Black people get shot on video. And not only do we watch it, we turn around and we go share it on social media. I remember one person asked me if I saw the Rayshard Brooks video, and someone else asked me if I saw the George Floyd video. So Rayshard Brooks was the brother that got shot in Atlanta. What was it? The Wendy's parking lot, I think it was. And then, of course, everyone's familiar with the George Floyd. People were asking me, did I see the videos? I'm like, no, I ain't see the videos. I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch, somebody die on camera. Why would I want to watch that and share that? That's trauma porn right there. Why would I want to watch that? But I'm not surprised though. Violence is as American pie. We've been conditioned over generations and years to get used to violence and seeing violence as normal. It's in all of our entertainment. It's in our movies, our TV shows, our cartoons. Prodigy from Mobb Deep talked about that in I think a song from back in 2011 called "Without You." He said it's, all this violence is depicted on the TV screen, and we become desensitized to the point where we're looking at real death, not fictional death, but real death, and it's almost like entertainment to us. Not in the sense that we're amused with it, like, oh, this is good. Let me get my popcorn. Not like that, but we're just watching it and sharing it so easily without a blink of an eye, like it's like it's fictional, like it's fake. Like we're watching a movie or a TV show, and that's not normal. That shouldn't be normal. Like, where's the humanity in that? And even if it's not these high profile police killings, you see real violence, untold stories of violence, of people hurting each other. People getting decapitated or shot, on camera, and people are sharing it, and it has, hundreds and thousands of shares. Like, why? So, unplug from the media, protect your energy, get your humanity back. And one more thing too. Where's my badge at? Oh yeah, here it is. Back in 2019, March of 2019, I performed jury duty. I showed up for the jury selection day. I honestly answered the questions, and I got placed on the jury. And when it comes to the legal system, it's the jury that decides who's guilty and who's innocent. Just based on how the judge gives you the law. Of course, that's the caveat. It's not based on your opinion of who's guilty or who's innocent, but you look at the evidence, you look at the definitions that the judge gives you, and you make a determination based on that. But with that being said, another solution or another approach is to stop evading and skipping jury duty. So you may not want to take off from work, or you may not want to deal with being on a case for several days or several weeks, but jury duty is so important. You being on the jury can determine whether someone gets justice or not. And I'll show you the receipts. Well, my only souvenir is my badge. Look at that. Juror, Essex County, New Jersey. And it's me, just regular dude, regular teacher on the jury. And the jury is made up of regular people. It's just the lawyers and the judge who are on these high positions in the courtroom. But the jury is just made up of regular people. Me, a teacher. On my jury duty, on my case, I had somebody that worked for Amazon, somebody that was a bus driver, somebody that worked for HelloFresh, a police officer, regular people on the jury. So again, don't skip jury duty. Be honest when you're getting those questions from the judge and the attorneys. Don't say, oh, I'm racist. Tell the truth. Do your duty. All right. Now I gotta start wrapping this up because I'm going way too long. All right, celebrity mess. Celebrity mess. This is another area in which you need to conserve your energy. And when it comes to celebrity mess, I'm thinking about all of the nonsense that's happened over the course of these 6 or 7 months that we've been under COVID-19. I'm thinking of Will and Jada. I'm thinking of Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. Well, those are the two that come to mind the most. Now, I understand and I agree that we should have balance in life. Balance out the seriousness, the news, the social issues, the knowledge, with a little bit of entertainment. But don't become overly invested in this entertainment to the point where you're expelling so much energy that you're having arguments with people and you're cutting people off and losing friendships over and becoming stressed out over these celebrities' lives, these celebrities' so-called personal lives. Of course, celebrities don't really have personal lives because their personal lives become public. But we're all on the outside looking in. How do we know what's real and what's not real? How do we know that what they're portraying to us and what they're telling us on their Instagram posts and on these entertainment blogs is what's actually going on, or rather they're all putting the act on us? And I'm thinking specifically about Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. Like, people are really getting into arguments about these and expelling way too much energy that they should into something that may not even be real. Like, all of this could just be orchestrated by both parties, because Tory Lanez just came out with an album, so all of this could be orchestrated as a publicity stunt, and everybody out here is just eating it up, So conserve your energy in that way. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. That's just the message with that. Keep in mind that all of this could be fake, and you getting yourself all stressed out, all worked up, losing friends, losing whether they're Facebook friends or real in-person friends. You losing friends over your opinions on these celebrities' lives that have no impact on you, and what they're going through may not even be what they're going through, and it could be fake. So relax, chill. All right. So let's get up out of here. I didn't expect to be here this long, but this is what happens when I go on tangents and I jump around and all of that. But to wrap up, make sure you subscribe to the 7 Spheres of Money on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to the email list. Go to djthemoneycoach.com. If you like what you hear, you like what I'm doing personally, you can donate to my Cash App, $ Mr. Westbrooks. And I'll put all that information in the description below. So check us out on Wednesday, Astoria Story. Nick Westbrooks, Astoria Stubbs, bringing to you the information and the inspiration. Catch us out in a couple weeks. Nick's Knowledge and Notions once again with Never Eat Alone. And that's a message that goes out to you. Never eat alone. Come eat with us. As a matter of fact, come join us on the beaches of the world. And we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the beaches of the world and never eat alone. So until Astoria Story on Wednesday, be safe, take care, protect your energy. Peace.